hope so. Otherwise, we have fun.
We're live.
We are live.
What?
It's not almost share online.
Next time is not giving a cheer.
He started coming? He started watching now?
Watch it 8 minutes.
So fun.
That's what happened. That was the.
So fun. That's
Omar Rava Bar Shilo. We're holding on the Daf Yomi on the base all the way in the bottom. Omar Rava Bar Shilo, Omar Rav Mas, Omar Shmuel, Magreifa Hoyseb HaMikdash. There was a shovel according to Rashi in the base HaMikdash. Asar to come Hoyuba. It had 10 holes. Tosis says, nah, it's not the shovel. It's called shovel, but it's something else also. It's a musical instrument called a shovel. Asar to come Hoyuba. Kol echad ve'echad moitzi asara mine zemer. Each one had 10 sounds. So Mamela Ninsis Kula Moitzia Meya Mine Zemer. Masnisa Ton, it says in the Mishnah. He Ama Ugvoya Ama Vekata Yoitze Meno of Asar Nekavim Hoyuba. It was Ama long, Ama wide. It had 10 Nekavim. Kol echad moitzi Meya Mine Zemer. So 10 times 100 is how much? Ninsis Kula Moitzia Elef Mine Zemer. It had 1,000. Or Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchok b'Simonach, if you want to remember who said what, Masniso Guzma. Sometimes the Mishnah exaggerates, not in this particular case, but sometimes. Zok the Gemara. I have a riddle. What name does Reb Chaim Kanievsky like the least? If you have.
Shira.
Oh, how do you guys know this?
everyone knows.
Okay.
Doesn't like Shira.
The man the Omar Avodim Hoyu Kosovar Iker Shira Bapeh. So perhaps it's a machloikis. Wait a minute, Levi. This throws. You sure? You said he only comes when it's hard. This is a cat today.
He said we're gonna start coming tomorrow.
Oh, okay. He just threw me off. I looked up like, wait a minute, is today's that hard? Am I supposed to know something I don't know? Iker Shira Bapeh. So maybe there's machlokes. If you say that the main, what the Torah tells us, as we're going to see soon, there's 10 sources in the Torah that tell us the Leviim have to perform shira. So if you hold that shira means singing with your mouth, ukli levasumi kala, and just to accompany the singing, there's instruments. Hudavida. Mmelo what? So since the Torah doesn't say you need instruments, then a slave can play an instrument. There's nowhere in the Torah that talks about instruments. The Torah tells us that a Levi has to sing with his mouth. You want to add instruments, that's your thing. Then even an Evet Knani can do. And the Manda Omar that says that it has to be a Levi, he holds that the Torah tells us that you have to play instruments in the Beis HaMikdash. If the Torah tells us that, then it can't be Evet Knani. It has to be a Levi. Now, we could say this here, we could say it soon. But we'll say it soon because it's a little bit better. But Tizbara, Rabbi Yossi Michael Sovar. Now that's a problem. Because you just said two shitas. You said the two extremes. You said you can use Evet Knani because there's nowhere in the Torah that says you have to use an instrument, and then it says you have to use a Levi because the Torah says you have to use an instrument. But Rabbi Yossi says the middle one, you need a Yisrael. If you need a Yisrael, so the Torah doesn't talk about a Yisrael, and if you don't need a Yisrael, then why can't you use a Evet Knani? Well, what's going on? Why the middle one? Rabbi Yossi Ma'ikasava, Ikasava, Ikashir, Bapeh, Avodim Sagi. Then why can't the slave do it? Ikasava, Ikashir, Bekli, Levim Bina. Says the Gemara, Lo'ilam, okay, Nupshat. Lo'ilam Kosavar or Kosavri, all three shittas are going to hold Ikashir, Bapeh. The main thing the Torah talks about is singing. Ememela, the kli is nothing. Even Evet Knani should be able to do an instrument. Very simple question. If somebody sees a person on the stage in the Beis HaMikdash, because there's a stage, there's a platform, and they go onto the platform and sing and perform with the instruments and everything. If I see someone on the stage, three things could happen. Either nothing, I don't care if he's on the stage, because anybody could jump on the stage, or it tells me that at least he has yichus, and I can marry him if I'm into yichus and then I need a pure genealogy, or it tells me no, that he's somebody that I give meisers to. So just by me seeing him on the stage, I give him meiser. So if that's the case, if I go by viewing him on the stage, then I have to be careful that anybody who's on the stage, even people that are playing instruments that have nothing to do with the Torah, they're just accompanying My singing, those people also have to be careful. We have to be careful that they're Levim. Now Taisus brings another shita, because in our Gemara it says Kosavri. All three shitas are going to hold that the Ikashir is bepeh. There is a shita, however, that holds that you're allowed to be Machal Shabbos with the instrument, right? Like Lahavdil, one of those synagogues. You have a guitarist. Organs.
All the
So-
shuls in Europe had organs.
Yeah. So if you hold Ikashira Bikli, says Taisus, then I could bring a I could play an organ on Shabbos, because that's what the Torah says. The Torah says you should play an instrument, not sing. But these three mandamrim, they hold Ikashira Bapeh. It's the singing. So Memela Kli is not in the Torah. There's no reason why you should be able to play an organ on Shabbos in the Beis Hamikdash. Man domar avodim hoyu. If you hold that even slaves can play the instruments, kosavar eimal meduchon lo liyusim v'lo ma'isros. If you see somebody performing on the stage, you're not going to make any assumptions, not for yichos and not for ma'aser. So memela, even a slave could jump on the stage and play the organ, play the
people on stage.
You're saying that people
See
don't
people
care.
on stage, then don't at all think they're chashuv people.
We all do. You're on stage, so you think differently.
That's what he's saying. Don't
Yeah, they're not chashiv for yichos.
don't look. They're usually not left.
Mando omer levim hoyu.
Mando.
Kosover malim meduchon. You have both things. Kosover malim meduchon bein liyuchsim bein lemaisers. If you say you need a Levi, not because the Torah says welcome back, Avi, not because the Torah says. This is how it was for 2 weeks. Your seat was available here.
I was looking on the video, I was making sure.
Now, if you need a Levi to play instruments, not because the Torah says a Levi has to play instruments, we're just concerned that somebody's going to make an assumption that because I see you on the stage, I'm going to marry your daughter, and Lamaisi, you're Evet Knani. So I got to be careful that everybody on the stage is a Levi. The mando means Israelim hoyu. So what's this middle shita? Kasavar malam educhel liyusin v'loy lemaisros. He's the in between shita. He says people make assumptions from the stage for yichos, and not if you're a chassid, for instance, and you're very makbid on shidduchim for yichos. All you need to do is you look at the stage. You don't care about the Tversky, Chves, whatever those names are, the Chashv, Halberstam. You look at the stage. Oh, he's on the stage, shidduch. But I don't give the guy meiser because he's probably not a Levi. But Yichos he for sure has. Zog the Gemara, Toner Rabbana. Hashir ma'akev es hakorban. Divrei Remeir. Remeir holds that the singing is the ikov. We're going to see where exactly do the shira, but wherever you do shira and you don't do the shira, it's the problem in the carbon. You could toss the carbon out. Divrei Remeir. V'chachomim rim enu ma'akev. It's not the end of the world if you miss the shira. My time the Remeir. So you have to stick in here. The shita sticks in here. Omar Rebbe Lazar, because it makes a lot of sense. In the second, we're going to say there's two Rebbe Lazars. We're talking about the second Rebbe Lazar, but where's the first one? If you don't know where the first, it doesn't flow so well. So the shita says this is the first one. Omar Rebbe Lazar, Omar Krav, ve'etnos alavim nesurim la'aron u'levonim b'toich b'nei Yisrael u'lechaper al b'nei Yisrael. Ma kapora, there's a Xer Shav, there's a hekesh here. Ma kapora ma keves, avshira ma keves. The kapara of a carbon, if you have a carbon without a kapara, it's nothing. You need the kapara. So too, you need the shira. There's a hekesh in the pasuk. Rabbanan ahu leidach the Rebbe Lazar. This is for the second Rebbe Lazar. Rebbe Lazar ma kapara bayoim, avshira bayoim. If you brought nisachim at night, which you could do, so you don't need shira. Then you don't do shira. Shira is only during the day. So really, we have 10 shitas coming up now. 10 different sources, easy sources in the Torah, because the Torah doesn't say anywhere that you need a sing, that a Levi needs to sing. Where does it say?
Also hold you need shira bayam.
What?
Remeir also hold you need shira bayam, right?
Remeir, Avada. Who's supposed to that?
That's for Lizzie.
It's Rashi.
That was Rashi?
Isn't that Shiro, this is Russian.
Omer Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel. They jumped the gun a little bit.
I think we're going to Chapra.
They know them show Shiro.
Saying where's the mayor?
This is where it comes from.
Huh?
Where's the mayor learn it from? That's how I was asking.
Oh, where does he learn? You mixed me up here. Where were you holding? Ramirez the Hekish.
I don't know who's happening.
Where does he learn Shira Bayan?
Huh?
Where does he learn Shira Bayan from?
Oh, you're talking about the day part. Oh, yes, Islam. If Chacham are learning day, the typical Gemara's kasha. They learn day, how do you know? So maybe you're saying maybe May holds that you can do it even midnight. I don't know. That I don't know. All right, Rabbi Shmuel. Menai likashir min atayro shenemar b'sheiris b'shem Hashem Elokom. How do you do an avodah with Hashem's name? How can you perform an avodah with Hashem's name? The only way to perform an avodah with Hashem's name is if you sing it. That's the avodah. So here it says that they would b'sheiris b'shem Hashem. The sheirus, the avodah was with Hashem's name. Ezu sheirus sheb'shem ve'oy mezu shiro ve'im enasiyus kapayim. Maybe it's talking about duchening, right? Because duchening is also Shem Hashem. And Kohen Hanim have to do Shem Hashem.
And they sing it.
Not necessarily. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the actual duchening. Midichsiv says the Gemara. Midichsiv the sharsoi ulevarach b'shmoi. It's two separate things. There's Birkus Kehanim and there's Sheirus. So meaning Sheirus is different than Birkus Kehanim. So it can't mean Birkus Kehanim. It means Avodah. And what's the Avodah? It's Shira. Bechlad the Birkus Kehanim lav Sheirus. Rav Masna Mamahocha. This is an amazing puzzle. You're going to get punished, Klal Yisrael, and you're going to have to worship the Goyim. Why? Because you didn't worship me. Asher tachas asher lo yevatas Hashem alegecha besimcha ubetuv levo. It's incredible. What does that mean? So we have to go into Rashi. Over here we go into Rashi.
Okay.
Bozok Rashi.
Take two.
Ein adam shor shiro adam teich simcha v'tuv levo.
Everyone together.
What is this? Who's doing this?
Gary?
What? I hit my phone by mistake. What? I pushed play. Here.
It's you.
I couldn't find who sings this song. What happened, David?
Yeah.
I couldn't find it online. I wasted like half an hour last night. You were sleeping. I promise you were sleeping.
1991, the Mashiach album.
I went through the Mashiach album.
Nigun Rashi.
And I was clearing. I was working really hard. This mashma from Rashi to zingin and nigin is norv and ayidus v'simcha. I don't know why it's mashma. It says in odam shor shira elam mitoch simcha person.
It's clear. It's
kind of mitoch lav at the shemei mitoch chen. I don't know. It's a little bit of a deal. No, because he's saying that you're not allowed to sing a song. You know, he's
telling you the only way it happens is if you have it.
Is norv and only when they get this v'simcha. He says only. It doesn't say in Rashi only. A person doesn't sing. Okay, fine. It's either mashma, it's either mefurish or not, but it's not so mashma. Okay. You have to go through. I was waiting for this Rashi the whole shas, the entire shas.
It work as good. It's not mefurish. It doesn't work as good.
It didn't work for the song.
It's not mefurish.
Zok Rashi. No, Zok Rashi. Okay, fine. You have to stick in the extra word. For you, it doesn't work because he's so used to it since 91.
No, it's the great lyric. It's the Hamashma for Rashi. It's the great rhyme. That's what his thing is.
I got it.
It's Mefurish for Rashi. It doesn't go as good.
Can you do it again?
We did it. We jumped the gun by mistake. In the new share room, we're gonna have a TV and there's gonna be a thing here. It'll be just a press a button. I had to pull out my phone. It's not. Ein adam shor shira elam teich simcha v'tuv levo. I love this Gemara. Fine.
Then you wonder why Labi doesn't come.
No, because until now, I thought the whole concept of Simcha was Rav Nachman of Breslov, and now I see the Gemara actually spoke about it. Asher le'yavadi, before Shabbos maybe. Asher le'yavadi shall go b'simcha v'tuv levo. Okay. Eze avadi sheb'simcha v'tuv levo have oy mezushiro. How do you get to Simcha? Ma kara? Can?
Because my Talmud, whenever there's a song that comes up in the limud, you have to sing. That's the rule.
Oh, really?
There it is.
Oh.
You have to sing. Right
Do they know it's the Masha for
100%.
Rashi?
Have you ever been to Shira?
Veimo divrei Torah.
I mean,
Kasha.
songs are like singing.
Also, when I was learning the sugya, I thought this is that's in the machlokes of Hasidim and Misnagdim. Right here in the sugya, the Hasidim say it's simcha v'tu levov, and then the Litvaks come along and say ve'ema Torah. Maybe it's Torah.
But you see
The Chassid,
that,
Pekudei Hashem Yisrael. No, so the Hasidim knocked them out.
but you see that the Gemara goes like the
Yeah,
Chassid.
Avada. If that's the pshat, yeah, I'm gonna have to do tshuva. Misamche levi ikri, toiv lo ikri. Torah is not called toiv. Torah is called misamche lev. It gives you simcha.
No.
Oh, so Toysus asked the kasha, what are you talking about? Toiv li Torah is picha. Says Toysus, Toysus misamche lev, and Toysus says that they don't come together in the same pasuk. So if Kornfeld wants to say pshat, that Torah has two things. Torah has, you learn Torah, you get schar, you have your Yerushalayim. There's also part of Torah that's simcha. Doesn't mean that when you learn Torah you have simcha. Some people learn ba'atzvus, they still get schar. But when you sing a song, it's b'simcha. It's one and the same. That's what he's saying. The Torah is calling a song simcha because that's what a song is. The essence of a song is simcha. The essence of Torah is not necessarily simcha.
Toiv? Is that what he's saying?
No,
Toiv
it
is
says in
not
the
toiv,
no, it
it's
says in the same
Shira's
pasuk.
toiv?
Shira and Toiv are come in the same pasuk.
Oh,
Say
so
the
Shira's
word.
toiv, but Toiv is not necessarily toiv. Okay.
Although it could be Toiv, it could be simcha,
Right.
but it's not necessarily the
But
two of them
Shira-
together
But then there's Atzostik songs.
from the dam.
Mordechai.
Mordechai.
Very often people used to learn the old days with a tune, with a niggin. Help you remember.
They still do.
But it helps you remember.
I actually there's a kid in the neighborhood. I have a big ongoing 2-year argument with him. I went over to him once in the middle of he was in shul. I said, listen, two things. You're singing a song that has nothing to do with learning, so you're probably not learning now. You can't be. Oh my! They have this whole song. I said, second of all, you're disturbing other people. He says, but that's what they do in the Bismarck. I said, then they're all wrong. Learning, you have to concentrate. You have to think. It doesn't go with the song. So he keeps on coming back to me. His father's a big singer. I'm not going to say that his father's from Shalshelis or anything, but he's a famous singer, and the bacher keeps on coming back to me with more rayas that you're allowed to sing, less rayas. He's kind of on. He's on.
I asked him about Tuski in Yeshiva. There was a guy who used to scream in the middle of the Seder. It was not shaykh to concentrate. He used to scream like a wounded animal. I asked him about Tuski if he shouldn't do it. He said no, it's 100% fine to do. He could do it. If that's how he learns, he could do it, and it's 100%.
I'm just saying you can't learn like that. I think physically it's impossible to learn while you're singing a Mordechai David song. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but what happens to the guy sitting near?
Yeah, what about the guy next to
He
you?
said it doesn't matter. You could learn if that's what it takes for you to learn. You
learn and you fight for everybody on. Mamish, this is against the law.
Mamish the first. So you argue about Tuski.
Seriously, it's a big thing in Eretz Yisrael, the yeshivas. It's a big thing. You walk in Spanish. All of a sudden, a guy decides to chazan zechos. Stop! It's the latest Shweki song. Top of his voice. Everybody, Shalom Aleichem. I'm hearing the Spanish with a good voice. I've seen it. I don't understand it. Fine. Says the Gemara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ve'ema bikurim. Maybe it's referring to bikurim. The chsiv is samachta b'chol ha'toiv. Over here also in bikurim you have the two words simcha and toiv in the same pasuk. Toiv ikri, tuv levov lo ikri. It's not like simcha that's tuv levov. Omer Masno minayla bikurim shetunim shir. Now we're going to go off for a second. We'll come back to the sugya of the 10 mekaris, but just now we mentioned bikurim. How do you know bikurim needs shira? And when they brought bikurim, they would say, I remember Hashem ki dilisani. So the Gemara asks you toiv tuv or toiv toiv, but the second pasuk is tuv mehacha. Bikurim it says toiv, and over here by shira it says tuv. So Mela, we know that when you bring bikurim, you sing. Ini ba Rabbi Shmuel bar Nachmani Omer Rabbi Yonis Menayin she'eino orim shira elo ala yayin. Only on the Sachim alone and not on Bikurim. Shenema v'toimer lahem. This is a beautiful pasuk. It's a mashal and shaytim that they came to the geffen, to the vine, and they said, "Could you be our king?" And the vine said, "I can't be your king because if I'm your king, I have to stop producing wine. The king doesn't produce wine, so Mela, how am I going to give wine to HaKadosh Baruch Hu?" V'toimer lahem geffen ichdalti estirosh. Then I'm going to have to stop making wine. Hamisamech Elohim v'anoshim, which gladdens HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How could you make HaKadosh Baruch Hu happy with wine? So you only say shira on yain on the nesachim when you bring with the carbon, but nothing to do with bikurim. So why are you telling me, ask the Gemara, that you say shira with bikurim? Says the Gemara, Mishkachis lo kedaton Rabbi Yossi. Priyata Mevi, you bring Bikurim only fruit, in the fruit form. Priyata Mevi Mashkim, don't bring liquids. Hevi Anovim, Udrachim Enayin, according to Rashi, according to Rashi, what happens if a person brings grapes and decides to press them squeeze them in the Azara? Tamaloymar Tavi, that even on Yayin that you press in the Azara, you could bring it as Bikurim and you'd say Shira. So we have a situation, you say Shira on wine. According to Taisus, you just bring wine. According to Taisus says at the end that since I could say Shira on wine, says Taisus in Mela, I say Shira on all Shivas Amina. Zog the Gemara. Chizki Omar, now we're going back. Chizki Omar Mahacha. Uchnanyo Sar Levim. This Chananyo was the director of the Levim. Yosar B'Maso Kimevino. He was the expert in lifting stuff, and he was in charge of everybody and told everybody how to lift the things in the Beis Hamikdash. Says Gemara Al Tikri Yosar Elo Yoshir. So you have to change the whole pasuk around. Uchnanyo Sar Levim was the director. Why? Because he was a professional expert in singing, and he taught all the Levim how to sing.
Did they have a conductor?
He was the conductor. That's probably what it means. He's the director, the conductor. Bilvati Omar Rabbi Yochanan. Bilvati said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, La avoidas avoida. It's a very interesting pasuk. You're doing the avoida of the avoida and the avoida. What does that mean? Is avoida shetzricha avoida? What kind of avoida requires an avoida? Havayim is a shira. Makes a lot of sense. When the kohanim are doing the avoidas Beis Hamikdash to bring karbanos, you're going to do avoida within that avoida to the karbanos, and you're going to sing. Rabbi Yitzchak Malacha Su Zimra Usnu Soif. Hinor Noim Im Novel. You're going to Su Zimra. You're going to sing a song. It says Mefurish in the pasuk. Rabbi Nachman Yitzchak Malacha Heim Yisu Koilam. They're going to raise their voices. Yoroinu, and they're going to sing. Begoin Hashem Sohalu Miyom. It's not, if you don't have Nekudis, don't read it Mayim. The word is Miyom. And says Rashi, he says Sohalu Miyom Yitzalu B'Shir Beis Hamikdash Yoiser Mitzohalas Yamsuf. Greater than Kriyas Yamsuf, says Rashi.
Shira.
The Shira in the Beis Hamikdash is greater than that of, can you imagine, when the Kriyas Yamsuf, the biggest nace, going through, the Shira and the Beis Hamikdash was even greater than that. The Tanya Maisalam
All these psukim with translating Masa and Yisro as
right.
Raising your voice.
Correct.
Not
Where's that Tosfos thing? Oh, you're saying in the future. What? What are you saying?
All these psukim,
Yeah.
instead of Masa meaning carrying, it means lifting your
Right,
voice.
so there's a Tosfos here that points your thing out. Right. Tosfos, the bottom Tosfos, now Tikri Yosar, Eli Yoshir. So Tosfos has a kasha that why are you you're changing words? You bring a pasuk that have to change the word. The Yosar means Yoshir. There's Mefurish psukim in Navi that say Shira. So he says that's what Rabbi Schoenberg was saying, that we only brought it as a raya that Masa means Shira. And then I'm going to take that pasuk back to the Torah. I want to bring a raya from the Torah, from Chamisha Chumshe Torah, not from Nevi'im. So I bring you a raya from Navi that Masa is a Shira. And then it says La'avoid L'Masa in the Torah, and I know that La'avoid L'Masa is referring to Shira. Says the Gemara Vayter, V'tana Ma'isla Mahacha, V'levnei Kohaslei Noson, Ki Avodas HaKodeshim Aleim Ba'kosef Yisod. It should say Ba'kosef, on their shoulders. What's Yisod? They'll carry it. V'mash V'shenem Ba'kosef and Yidea Yisod, Matam Alom Yisod, and Yisod El Eloshin Shira. V'chein Oimer, Su Zimros Nusoif, Oimer Yisu Koilam Yeroinu. These are the psukim we had already, but we had an individual psukim that learning directly. Over here just telling us that carrying has to do with Shira. Chanani ben Achi Rabbi Yeshua Amar Ma'acha. Moshe Yidaber V'Elohim Ya'anenu B'Koil. It's not referring to the Gemara's Darshim. It's not really talking about, or we can learn another drasha. Even though the Pashup Shad is we're talking about the luchas, the eight luchas. Over here is talking about Aliskei Koil. Yishbach wanted Moshe Rabbeinu to sing. Rav Ashi Amar Ma'acha V'Yike Ke'achad L'Mechatzitrim V'L'Meshorim for the singers. V'Ashmiya Kol Echad. Rabbi Yonasan Amar, this is the final one. V'Lo Yemusu Gam Heim Gam Atem. V'L'Meshorim are singers. Lashmiya Kol Echad. So you see, that's what it says by you?
Yeah. Why
do you need that?
Just like the Levim sang,
Oh, because the pasuk is, how do you get from there to Levim? I hear. How do you get from there to Levim? Answers that question. Okay. Rabbi Yonasan Amar Mahacha, the Torah is talking to the Kehanim. You're not going to die. And the Levim are not going to die when you perform the avodah. Matim ba'avodas mizbeach. But we're the kohanim. They're performing the avodah in the mizbeach. So the Levim are also by the mizbeach, but the Levim don't do korbanos. So what's going on here? Afim ba'avodas mizbeach. So in Mela, it must be that the Levim are singing a song. So here's the makar, 10 makars in the Torah that they sing songs. Taminam ehochi le'imusu gam him gamatem atem b'shalohem ve'im b'shalochem b'misam. So it goes like this: if a Yisrael and a Levi performed the avodah of a kohen, dead. If a kohen and Yisrael performed the avodah of a Levi, also dead. Question is, if a Levi performs the avodah of a Levi, there's two avodas. There's mishoyarim and mishoyarim, the singers and the gatekeepers, the guys that open up and close the gates. So, if a Levi who's designated as a singer, when it comes to opening the gate, he's a czar. He has no business opening a gate. And if he goes ahead and decides, oh, I'm a Levi, I can open a gate, no, you're dead. Or maybe not. Maybe he doesn't get misa.
They had kavua jobs
Yeah.
every day.
They had
And you'd switch around
kvios.
every day.
You talking if there was
The singers with the
like
shoulders and like.
I don't know,
Kohanim
yeah.
No,
I
they
don't
used to
know.
have the tone deaf guys once in a while.
The tone
of course not. It is
tone deaf
guys-
guys went to the shorim.
Exactly. The tone deaf guys.
For
Also,
sure.
I think it's guys who are retired.
If it
They were
was
past the
It's a good
age.
thing we're not
to
living.
let us sing a
If the
certain
Kohen
age.
jumped in, it wasn't his mishmar.
Yeah.
He came turn up in the best megish and he brought a car. He was makar for carbon. Would he be dead?
On the spot.
Oh,
Give him an avodah.
no. Kohen to kohen
So
not.
a Kohen,
Kohen to kohen.
Kohen's allowed to take over the ultimate avodah. That's okay, but a Levi singing instead.
No, because kohanim don't have special jobs within they're all
No,
there.
wasn't his mishmar. He was supposed to be.
That's something else. That's
Taisa
stealing a
says,
mishmar.
different families. Shomer pointed out.
Some the musical family.
Mishpacha shahayu misharim,
There you go.
mishpacha shahayu misharim.
It didn't go by individual, it went by
Tone-deaf
mishpachas. The tone deaf families.
in the family.
And no one has the
It's
tone
been
deaf
the tone deafs were around since then. Wow.
Since then. Since the
Tell me
beginning.
about it. I'm very familiar with it.
I left the whole show because of the tone deaf.
Obviously, you're the one that was tone deaf. They were on.
Yeah, we're not. Trust me.
You're like the guy that was driving down the wrong. He was like, he called up his wife. Everybody's driving the wrong way.
Congregation.
What?
I was the chazan in the deaf congregation.
I'm right by it.
Oh, so hold on. If you switch off, the kohanim go to the levim misa. Hey b'shalohem einam b'misa. But if levim switch off within themselves, they don't die. Elo b'hazara, they get a lav. So if they have a lav, they get malchus. Omar Abaye, naktina mishoyer sheshir b'shel chaver b'misa. So Abaye is mechulik. Not mechulik. He brings a brisa. He can't be mechulik really on a Tana, but he brings a brisa that says not like that. That if a Levi switches with another Levi, grabs something, he's from a family of mishoyerim and he does shoyarim, he misa. By the way, what happened to the shoyrim? There's a third thing called shoyrim. So there's a big, there's a lot of pshatim over here. I saw 3 pshatim. One pshat is that shoyarim is shoyrim. Fine, but the Tzavnis Paneach, the Yonis Nepshitz, he says that shoyrim is at night. So they never switch with each other. They couldn't switch. So he's like, it's the day guys shouldn't switch, but the guy at night, the night shift. Or another pshat is that it's ein boy ma'isa. A shomer just stands straight. Even they're not really protecting from ganavim. It was just for the covet of the Beis Hamikdash. So if you're gonna stand like a klutz and looking, you can't get misa for standing. You get misa for moving something, for doing an avodah. Fine. Or about acting mishoyer sheshir b'shachaber b'misa shenema v'achoinim lefnei hamishkol kedma lefnei oil moed v'hazar akar v'yumeos, and a stranger shall die. My zar, ilim zar mamash uksiv chodazimna. We already said in the beginning of the parsha. Elav zar da'isa avodah. So he brings a brisa that says mufurish that a Levi who changes avodas gets misa v'dei shumai. Meisvei mishoyer sheshir u'mishoyer sheshirer einam b'misa lebazara. So okay, but I have another place that says you don't get misa. It's only a lab. Tanoi, okay, now it makes sense. It's all Tanoim, the Sanyo, Meisver, Yeshua ben Chananya, who's a Levi. Sholach l'sayah b'hagdof has is to move the doors. Eitzer Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgado, who's also a Levi. Omer loi, b'ni chazal echarecha. Do not help me. Sha'atom menam eshoyrim, v'loi menam eshoyarim. You're a singer. You're not a gate guy. So what's going on here? Because the misa that you get is if you open the door by yourself. That's misa. If you hold it, you get misa. But he held that he's just a Messiah. He's just helping Rabbi Yochanan ben Gudgoda. So memela you don't get misa.
Still alive.
Oh, so that's the shayla here. My love, welcome ifligi. The Mar Savar misihi, that closing a door when you're a singer is misa. If you do it by yourself, the gozru and memela rabbanu or goizer on you shouldn't help because maybe you'll make a mistake next time and you won't help. You do it all by yourself. Mar Savar hazari, it's only a lav. The gozru ban, there's no reason to make a gzeira on a lav. Or another pshat is the kule alma hazari. Everybody agrees that's only a lav. You don't get misa. Mar Savar say gozru or rabbanon. There should be you have to make a gzeira on somebody that helps. There's no reason to make a zera on a situation. You don't have to make zera when he what?
But then they know by themselves.
Yeah, there's no reason to make zeras on a lot. Boy Rabbi Oilas nidvas tzibur tuno shireloi. You see from this Gemara that a oila that's a chayva. Something that's a chayva, let's say a tamid every day, that's a chayva and it's for the community, it's a tzibur, you must say shira. How about a oila that's in a davar? It's a communal one, it's a tzibur, but it's in a davar. For instance, Ketz HaMizbeach. The Mizbeach's dessert. A guy brings too much money for his chatas, he designates, so you put in a special shofar, designated for the Ketz HaMizbeach. But it's not a communal. So it's a communal, but it's not a choiva. Tuna shiro and tuna shiro. What's the shayla? Elisechem Rachmana, Achasayos Choiva, Achasayos Ndava. Elisechem refers to all the oilas. Oidilma, Elisechem the Kul Yisrael. Elisechem, your oila, meaning something that we bought from Machzah Shekel, which every person in Klal Yisrael is a part of, and not something that somebody donated on his own. It's from the Ketz HaMizbeach. Toshma. By Yom Chizkiyahu, it's also an interesting story with Chizkiyahu. His father closed down the Beis Hamikdash. He took over as king. He started up the Beis Hamikdash. When he started up the Beis Hamikdash, he went and he asked. Mendy, he asked, Chizkiyahu asked, not they asked Chizkiyahu. As no, there's a shayla, but I was mevar that it's a little different than what we thought. Chizkiyahu asked. He asked the shayla, do I say shira or not? It's before Rashi. Shahayru like Rashi said. Lahali soyla. What?
What was he saying?
No, he wanted to know halacha. I'm starting the Beis Hamikdash. I know. I just opened the Beis Hamikdash for the first time in many years. My father closed it down, the Rosh. Off of the Rosh. What?
You should sing shira.
I want to sing shira now. What do I do? No, not me. Should they? I'm the king. I'm controlling everything. I'm bringing oilers now. They brought a bunch of oilers. Everybody's excited. Shira or no shira? And so it's not a chayva. So what is he asking Yikashi? You see that even on something that's not a chayva, that is shaylo. Beis achel oila achel shira shem achatzoyis reis aidei klei David. They use David's kelim melech Yisrael. If it's a obligation to do lamalele mluche, why is he asking kashas? So it's a raya. They should do shira for the dava. Or Rabbi Yosef loy. Why does Rish Chodesh have it? You talking about Rish Chodesh? Become a boilu mihukba Rish Chodesh. You just want to know, hey, is it Rish Chodesh or not? Is mad likim loy. How can you say such a thing? It happened to be on the 16th day of the month. How can you tell me it's Rosh Chodesh? They made a mistake 16 days later. The moon is already full moon. Yeah, you know, it's the 16th day of the month of Nisan. That's when you bring the Omer. And you want to know the carbon that you bring with the Omer, shir or no shir. So maybe I have no raya really. This is already Mikbar Rosh Chodesh Bizmanoi the Likorev Eloi. It's Rosh Chodesh on time. When do you do this? On the 17th day of Tes Zayin, 16th day of Nisan. Yesterday was Lil Seder, I sat by Seder. You have no problem with the Dalit Koises Matzah, and now you're coming to ask a Shailin Sanhedrin if you should bring a carbon. That also doesn't make sense. He didn't have to ask the question. He knew the answer. He asked. It's proper to ask respect. Just like a Chazan asks, should I start?
Hashem asked the Malach.
What?
Hashem asked the Malachim, not Sel.
Oh,
Then destroyed them when they said no.
Right.
Hashadas is lo'achim. So now, okay, you already came to this that he was just doing it out of respect.
You don't have a right.
You don't have a raya. It could have been any oila, and he did it out of respect. It's not a right that you have to. Toshma, Rabbi Yossi Omer Megalgim Schus Leim Zakai. On a day that we have good things happening to us, we're going to have good things in the future. There's going to be the Geula. Just like Geula happened in Nisan, the Geula, the future Geula, Be'ez Hashem, is going to happen in Nisan. V'choy v'leim chayav. And on a bad day, unfortunately, bad things happen. Omru kishachor be'bayis or b'rishoyna, the first Beis Hamikdash, Yisayim Tisha B'Av. Oh yeah. And this you might have not known. U'motzi Shabbos, it was also Sunday. U'motzoi Shvi Soisa. And it was on the year after Shemitah. U'mishmar Dishal Yayar Vaisa. And it was the out of the 24 mishmars that it so happened to be Yayar. V'hayu, and they say also that that Kristall Nacht. What happened on Tisha B'Av? That's what they say. Something bad happened in 1942. What happened on Tisha B'Av? Something. No? You're looking at me like I'm making this up.
I'll tell you what happened Tisha B'Av in 2000 and
What?
something.
39, the worst.
The war started on Tisha B'Av.
In Tisha B'Av, Obama gave his speech, his first big speech at the Democratic Convention on Tisha B'Av.
Really?
Yeah. It's true. Look it up.
V'hayu, Kohanim, we're going to see in a day or two, we're going to see what exactly happened on the second bayis. But it's for sure happened on Tisha B'Av. Whether or not it's Mishmar Tisha Yarev and Matzi Shemitah, Akoponim, V'hayu Kohanim Ulevinim Amdim Ladu Chonam, they were on the stage. V'hayu Shira, Umashira Amru, V'yoshev Aleim Esoinam, Uvrasom Yatzmisem. What day do we say this? V'yoshev Aleim Esoinam. They didn't even get to the pasuk. Yeah, they didn't even get to the pasuk that Hashem is going to uproot the goyim. The goyim ran in there and destroyed them before they had a chance. They didn't say that pasuk. Maybe I don't know what the Gemara means by that. Maybe if they would have said the pasuk, would have saved them. Why did they say shira? Here's a raya that l'chayra you say shira even on nedava. Mihave, they didn't have korbanos b'chlal. There were no more korbanos. There was a siege on Yerushalayim. They couldn't get animals in, and all the kvasim were gone, finished, done. Nothing. Bottle tammuz. It was bottle the tamuz, finished. Elolav the oil is nedava. So there was a nedava. They brought a nedava. This is your cash coming up. With Tizbara, Maishna the oil is chayva the loy have. You didn't have animals for chayva. How Maishna the oil is nedava the have. Holy kashia. Ben Bakar cry ba'amu. Maybe there was a cow. You can't bring a cow for a tamid, but you want to bring in a dove, you can bring a cow. Maybe they had one or two cows hanging around. And
They had a cow and they didn't have sheep.
Exactly. No, because the sheep were used up on the tamid. Every day you got to bring tamid too. Boom, boom, boom. They ran the sheep.
Somebody had been hiding something.
Saying it's not a
Nobody
stira.
knew about it.
One thing we know for sure: there are no sheep. It's possible that guy was hiding a cow somewhere. Amar Rava, we say Ravashi, Yutizbero Shir, the Yoim Lashem Ratzulaya, Vayoshem Leim Soinam, Bishir Dar Bab Shabbos. What's going on here? They're saying the wrong shir. You tell me that the Tisha B'Av happens on a Sunday. On a Sunday you don't say Yatzmisem Hashem. That's for Revi. By the way, just thinking this now out loud, I don't know if anybody else has. I say Shir Shel Yoim every single week for 40 years. I don't know it by heart. It bothers. I don't understand. Like Shemona Esrei Yom Kippur, I can say by heart. I only say it once a year, but Shir Shel Yoim for some reason. You ask me how do you even start? I don't know. I don't know. I have to look into this. It's weird. Somebody else has that.
How much tsari and Sipporn is in the Torah?
What?
How much tsari and Sipporn is in the
No, that's every day.
Well, you know it?
Yeah, you're supposed to say it slow. You can't skip a word because if you have music, you skip a word. We learned. Even skipping a word. Yeah.
We formed a club in our shul in London.
That says the
Shir
shir.
Shel Yom properly.
Really? And not run out with your thousands. Very nice. Hello, says the Gemara. There's no raya from here, whether you have to say shir or not, because this wasn't a real shira. This was just a song that they decided to sing on the spot. What do you mean? It was part of the shira because they're standing on the stage. You could say shira even without a korban, not properly. So let them say shira when you bring any oila, even a nedava. If you could just say without a carbon, so who cares? Let them say with a nedava. Says Gemara, no. You could say without a carbon, but you can't say with a carbon nedava. Nafik min churba. People will see. Once in a while they say shira on a carbon. Once in a while they don't. So they're going to take that and bring that to oilas chayv and say you don't need to say shira. Here, yesterday they didn't say shira. And they're not going to differentiate between a chayv and a
That's not even
nedava.
the question. The question is if it's a chiyuv or not by the nedava. Don't say just say it anyway. That doesn't answer the question. What if I didn't say it? Is
Yeah,
it
but what if you
valid
did?
nedava?
Don't bring me a right that you did say it. Maybe
Right,
they
but
did
he's
say it. There's
asking,
no
is
right
it
that
a
you have
chayv on the
mechuyev
nedava or
to.
not? What kind of answer is this? He's asking, is it a raya on the nedava or not?
Or you're
Then
saying
you have
this
to
whole
bring.
thing that it's a raya.
He's asking a question. Do I have a chiyuv to say shira also on a nedava? What kind of answer is this?
Maybe that was a
Just say
shiloh.
it.
Could you say it? Maybe that gufa was a shiloh. Zog the Gemara, may have it. At the end of the day, could you say on a nedav or not? Toshma, or do you have to say? The Torah of Mari Bereder of Kahana ala lisechem azivchi shalmeichem ma oila kodesh kedoshim av shlomim kodesh kedoshim. Once a year, shlomim, which happens to be kochi kalim, turns into kochi kochim. That's on Shavuos. The kivzi atzeres. Why? Umashlomim kavulam zman, because that shlomim is it has to be on a specific date. So Mamela turns into Kochi Kochim. What's Kochi Kochim? You have to only eat it in Beis Mikdash. You can't just schlep it around Yerushalayim like Kochi Kalim. Afoy lekabulaz man. So Mamela, if it's you only say shira on something that's Kochi Kochim like Shalom, but not on the Nedav. Not the Nedav doesn't have to be those. Rabbi Sai, be there next week on Friday for Ami Magazine special. Your picture will be inserted if you give praise and shvach to the. No, I'm just kidding.
Nachman.